The snow falls quietly in the high mountains of feudal Japan, but the silence is broken by the rhythmic crunch of boots. 100 Navy SEALs, elite warriors from the future, move with precision through the forested terrain. Their mission is unclear, their presence impossible, but they are here, armed, trained, and ready for any battlefield, except this one. Across the valley, the ground begins to shake. Drums, thunder, horns, scream. From behind the mist, the mountain stirs with life. Not 100, 10,000 samurai, armored in black and crimson, emerge in perfect formation. At their front rides, a warlord Tokeda Shingen, legendary general of the Sengoku era. His blade is drawn, his eyes burn with purpose. The SEALs take positions, sensors up, drones in the sky, but nothing prepares them for what's coming. These samurai aren't scared, they're charging head-on, swords raised, banners flying. No hesitation, no fear. Two forces, two worlds, one rooted in honor, tradition, and steel. The other forged in modern warfare, tech, and precision. And they are about to collide like nothing history has ever witnessed. What if 100 Navy SEALs fought 10,000 samurai on their own ground? What if modern tactics met ancient fury, and neither backed down? If you're ready to witness the most legendary battle never told, subscribe now and don't miss what comes next. This isn't just war, it's history rewritten. The clash is sudden, explosive. Gunfire echoes through the valleys, cutting through the ancient silence like thunder. The first wave of samurai charges down the mountainside, their war cries piercing the cold air. Their armor shines beneath the pale sun, blades raised, running not out of madness but purpose. They believe in death with honor. The Navy SEALs don't flinch. Their training kicks in like instinct. Suppressed rifles crack in rhythm, targets drop, one by one, controlled, calculated. The SEALs remain low, behind cover using rocks, ridgelines, tree trunks. Every movement is measured, every shot counted. But there are too many. As the first wave falls, a second, larger wave barrels forward. The ground shakes. The SEALs switch to grenade launchers, marking distances, scanning sectors. Still blades close the gap. At 30 meters, rifles become useless. One SEAL drops his weapon, draws a combat knife, and braces. Steel meets steel. A samurai's katana slices through air, barely missing flesh. The SEAL moves fast, faster than the samurai expects. But the samurai is relentless. Trained since childhood, he reads the soldier's body like a map. Elsewhere, a SEAL squad is surrounded. They form a defensive circle, covering angles. Comes breaking up in the mountain terrain. The samurai come from above, from behind trees, through the snow. This isn't just war, it's a collision of philosophies. What if guns can't reload fast enough? What if tactics fall apart when overwhelmed by unshakable discipline and ancient fury? The SEALs are trained for every battlefield, but not for 10,000 swords coming from the mist. The SEALs fall back, but not in retreat, in formation. They move with precision, covering angles, dropping smoke to mask movement. Thermal optics scan for targets. But the samurais are ghosts now, silent, hidden. The mountain has become theirs. A squad of SEALs enters a narrow pass. Too narrow to quiet, the snow crunches, and suddenly, blades descend from above. Samurai drop from trees, ambushing with lightning speed. One SEAL falls instantly. The others react, switching to close quarters combat, but it's chaos. Gunfire deafens the forest. Blood spatters the rocks. The SEALs are used to urban warfare, night raids, desert ops, but this is different. This is ancient terrain, controlled, trapped, alive. Across the ridge, Commander Blake, the SEAL team leader, watches the chaos unfold through drone feed. They're being split apart, squads isolated, picked off. He redirects remaining squads to higher ground, trying to regroup. But terrain advantage belongs to the samurai. They've trained their whole lives for this landscape. Meanwhile, the samurai commanders shift their strategy. No longer charging blindly, they begin to adapt. Strike fast, withdraw flank, hit the SEALs in their weakest spots. Supply points, medics, comes. It's no longer strength versus strength. It's strategy versus survival. And the mountain favors tradition. Night falls over the mountains like a shroud. Mist curls through the trees. The SEALs, now scattered in fractured squads, adapt. Commander Blake knows they can't win with brute force. Not here. Not against 10,000 warriors who've lived and died in these mountains for centuries. They change tactics. No more direct fire. No more perimeter defense. Now, they move like ghosts in the dark, turning their modern tools into silent weapons. Thermals on, lasers off, suppressors attached. Each step is measured, each breath controlled. Meanwhile, the samurai camp rests after a day of slaughter. Fires flicker, guards patrol, but no one hears the SEALs moving through the tree line. The first strike is surgical. A small unit of SEALs creeps into a command tent, eliminating a samurai strategist with a blade, not a bullet. The second strike, a detonated supply cache, sends flames into the sky. Chaos erupts, discipline shatters. Samurai warriors scramble in confusion, blades drawn, expecting an assault. But no one comes, just shadows, whispers in the trees. Across the ridge, Blake watches the fire burn. It's not about numbers now. It's about fear. It's about taking back control through precision and patience. The SEALs aren't trying to defeat 10,000 men head-on, they're going to break them from within. What if the SEALs don't need to fight every samurai, only the ones who lead them? What if technology, silence, and surgical strikes can unravel an army 10,000 strong? The game is changing, and the ghosts are starting to haunt the past. The fires still burn, the SEALs' surgical strikes have shaken the samurai to their core. But this is not an army that breaks easily. Samurai do not fear death, they welcome it with honor. By sunrise, Takeda Shingen gathers his commanders. The message is clear. This is not a force to be defeated by numbers alone. We adapt, or we fall, he says. A phrase that no samurai had ever spoken before, until now. Within hours, the entire samurai strategy shifts. Scouts are sent to trace thermal signatures. Messengers relay enemy positions using runners faster than drones can track. Ambush units split into dozens of silent cells, each trained to stalk the mountain like wolves. The SEALs, once the predators, are now being watched. Traps appear in their paths. Arrows fly from blind angles. A squad moving toward extraction is suddenly flanked by dozens of sword-wielding warriors, emerging from the mist like phantoms. One SEAL is cut down before he can raise his rifle. The others barely escape. Commander Blake realizes the samurai are learning. Fast. The SEALs regroup. They're calm, but the tone has shifted. They expected bravery. They didn't expect adaptive warfare from the 16th century. And worse, the samurai are now hunting them with purpose. Snow falls heavier now, covering the battlefield like a shroud. The blood of warriors past and present melts into the white ground. The SEALs are running low on ammo, food, and time. Their bodies are tired. Their tech is damaged. The mountain, once their path, has become a cage. In a narrow ridge, 4 SEAL squads regroup under the leadership of Commander Blake. Their numbers have dropped below satellite comms are down. Drones lost. Extraction is no longer an option. They are alone, but they are not broken. Blake issues new orders: survive at all costs. They'll dig in, fortify a position, and hold the line. It's not about defeating 10,000 men now, it's about not being erased. The samurai, under Takeda Shingen, sense this desperation. Their scouts report fewer SEALs. Their dead litter the slopes, but so do the marks of fear. Mines, traps, patterns they don't understand. Takeda halts the next advance. He wants no more reckless charges. He respects the enemy now, but he will not let them leave alive. As night falls again, the SEALs set up ambush points, tripwires, fallback tunnels. They become part of the mountain. Every bush could hold a shooter. Every stone could be watching. The samurai, too, begin to whisper of the SEALs, not as men, but as phantoms. Spirits with fire that strikes before steel, but even phantoms can bleed on. Takeda plans to bleed them out. The mountain is quiet again, but only on the surface. Beneath the stillness, a storm brews. SEAL Team Echo, cut off from the main group, is buried deep in a ravine. Their ammo is nearly gone. Comms are down. Their medic is wounded. They've been holding position for 12 hours, waiting for extraction that's not coming. Above them, samurai scouts move like shadows across the ridgelines. Silent, deadly, Tezcatlipoca no longer sends waves, he sends precision kills. Every squad of SEALs is being isolated, like blood vessels being cut one by one. This is no longer a siege, it's surgical dismantling. Commander Blake knows the SEALs can't survive another night like this. He sends a runner through the Tres Petty Officer Ramirez, young, fast, loyal. The mission: slip past the samurai lines and reconnect. Echo Team with the last stronghold. Ramirez moves like a shadow, but even ghosts can be caught. Hours later, a samurai blade is found driven into a tree, Ramirez's helmet beneath it. No body, no blood. Just a message: we see your ghosts. They die silent. Blake doesn't flinch, but he feels it. The cost is growing. That night, as the snow thickens and vision fades, the samurai launch a coordinated strike on 2 remaining SEAL positions. The fight is brutal. Blades meet steel, and screams echo into the mountain air. The SEALs hold, but only barely. The snowstorm rages like the war itself. White flurries whip through the air, covering the mountain in silence. But deep within that silence, 2 leaders move toward each other, drawn by fate, by rage, and by duty. Commander Blake climbs the final ridge with 6 SEALs at his side. Half his team is gone. Supplies are nearly depleted, but his focus is unwavering. His mission is no longer extraction, it's retribution. On the opposite slope, General Takeda Shingen descends with an honor guard of elite samurai. His armor is stained with blood, his men's, and the enemy's. His blade is unsheathed. He has lost many warriors to these foreign ghosts, and now, he comes to end it himself. The 2 groups meet in a frozen clearing. No drones, no artillery. Just eyes locked across the snow. Blake gives the nod. His men back away, forming a circle. Takeda speaks softly to his samurai. They do the same. This is it, a duel not of weapons, but of ideals. Blake draws his combat knife. Takeda raises his katana. They circle, breathe, wait, then clash. Steel meets steel. Blake dodges the first arc, counters with a jab to the ribs. Takeda spins, slicing low. Both men are fast, precise, deadly. It's modern technique versus ancient forehand. Neither is giving ground. Blood hits the snow. What if this battle ends not with an army, but with one man? Can a single moment decide the fate of 10,000 warriors and the ghosts who dared to face them? As the storm howls around them, only two hearts beat? Only one will walk away. The blade strikes deep. Blake's knife plunges into Takeda's side just as the katana slices across Blake's shoulder. Both men stumble back, blood spilling into the snow. Silence. No war cries, no gunshots. Just two warriors, gasping, bleeding, still standing. The circle around them tightens. Seals, samurai. No one moves. No one dares. The weight of history presses down on the frozen ground. Takeda drops to one knee, gripping his wound. His eyes meet Blake's, not with hatred but respect. He nods. A silent admission. You were worthy. Blake, barely standing, gives one slow nod in return. Both leaders collapse at the same time, and then everything erupts. The samurai, seeing their general fall, charge in fury, emotion overcoming discipline. The seals, enraged by the loss of their commander, unleash their final strength. The mountain explodes in violence. Fire, steel, lead. But something changes. In the midst of the chaos, two soldiers, one seal, one samurai lower their weapons. They lock eyes, both breathing heavy, both seeing the same truth. It's over. The surviving seals retreat up the ridge, carrying Blake's body. The remaining samurai retrieve Takeda and back away. No one gives a final order. There is no victor, just survivors. What if victory was never the point? What if in the end, this wasn't a battle of who wins, but of who remembers? The blood will fade. The mountain will sleep again. But the story, this impossible story, will live forever. The snow settles once more. The mountain, once alive with war, now lies quiet, blanketed in silence, soaked in blood. The air holds no sound but the wind. No commands, no gunfire, no sword clashes. Just the echoes of what happened here. Only a handful survived. From the seals, barely a dozen. From the samurai, maybe a few hundred. And yet, the scars left behind feel infinite. Commander Blake's body was buried beneath a cedar tree, facing the sunrise. Takeda Shingen, honored by his remaining men, was cremated with full warrior rights. Two enemies, two leaders, one story. Neither side claimed victory. There was no flag raised, no anthem sung. But those who lived carried something heavier than pride. They carried the memory of a war no one was supposed to win. A war of discipline versus technology, of precision versus spirit, of ghosts versus blades. And when they returned home, whether east or west, they spoke not of conquest, but of respect. Of the enemy who never gave up. Some said it never happened, but the survivors, they remember everything. What if this wasn't about who won, but about what survives? What if two forces from different worlds, trapped in an impossible war, left behind something greater than victory, a legacy? If this story moved you, if you want to see more battles that never happened but always should have, subscribe now, because this war may be over, but the next one is just beginning.